Life in space. Weightless living. You wake up just as the sun is rising. It takes a moment to untangle from the sleeping bag in small space. Opening the door, you grab a handle and flip over yourself over with a gentle push. You fly from one end of the room to the other. Another crew moment floats by, hands and some coffee, and says, "Good morning" in Russian. You thank him and yawn, tired because you haven't slept much. Your stomach isn't used to the lack of gravity yet, and you are incredibly excited. You're about to begin your first day working on the International Space Station. Even simple activities are difficult without gravity. It's almost as if you have to learn them all over again. You won't head back to Earth for another 6 months, so you may as well to get started. The race to space. People began racing into the space in 1950 and 1960s. The first person in space was cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin from Russia, then part of the Soviet Union. He orbited Earth one time and landed safely after 108 minutes. On April 12, 1961, in 1968, U.S. astronauts on Apollo 8 successfully orbited the moon. On July 20, 1969, the crew of Apollo 11 stepped onto the moon's surface. Space programs created vehicles that let people stay in space for days and weeks. However, scientists were building a structure in which people could actually live for months or years. Space Station. The Soviet Union launched the first space station in 1971. It spent 175 days in space. In 1973, the United States launched Skylab. It supported three missions before being abandoned. In 1974, the Soviet Union launched the Mir space station in 1986. It was the first space station that lasted more than a few years. Mir remained in orbit for 15 years, 3 times longer than planned. Scientists from many different countries visited it. Before Mir was abandoned, work began on a new larger space station. The United States, Russia, Japan, Canada, and other countries worked together. In 1998, the first section of the International Space Station, ISS, was launched into orbit. More sections have been added over the years, and more are planned for the future. As of 2012, the ISS was as long as a wheat field and weighed almost 1 million pounds. Over the years, more people from 19 countries have visited the station. Many astronauts stay in ISS for about 3 to 6 months. Staying on space station can be very difficult. Scientists have found the way to make it easier for astronauts to live in space. As an astronaut's life, Astronauts go to school for many years before they begin. The physical training involves being weightless while flying in an airplane. Astronauts also spend up to 7 hours in spacesuits while working underwater. They work on model a space vehicle in a huge pool.